In the Lions tour in New Zealand, they always talk about not doing it again, but you're back in again. What draws you back?
I think it's probably the hardest position to say no to, because you kind of get drawn up by the Lions, the history of the Lions, what it actually means to be involved, and you think about going on tour, and I think for me it's the fans. You think the people who make that effort to stay for 4 years to go and support the Lions, and people coming from 4 different nations to support one team. It's unique. It's special. And when I thought about that, and it was a difficult decision to say no to, and not to be tempted to be able to do it again. So it was probably, when I thought about it, I would have had regrets for the rest of my life if I didn't accept the approach from the Lions to ask if I'd consider taking on the role again.
You talked earlier about obviously the stresses on the Lions tour, as it gets shorter, and you talked about going into a tournament with more preconceived team. Does that place even more importance than ever on Six Nations and on the club form?
There's no doubt players coming from international sides and club sides with form and playing and winning teams. That is quite important, because players coming in from teams that have been successful, they come in with a spring to step, a bit of a swagger, confidence, and particularly in key positions, 9 and 10. You want captains in the same sort of mode as well. So those sorts of things are important. And then club form, as you sort of start thinking about quarterfinals, semi-finals, getting to Europe as well. There's sometimes pressure on us having to announce the Lions side. I mean, potentially earlier than I would like, but then you have the demands from the kit suppliers about doing all the kit and getting the names and doing all those sorts of things. So there's a bit of a balancing act between me trying to hold on as long as I can to see as many players perform in big games, and also the pressure from the sponsors and the Lions saying, when can we have the squad? So you've got to weigh that up as well. But the Six Nations, and if I look back in 2013, the last game in that Six Nations with England and Wales. As a championship decided, England going for the Grand Slam, Wales trying to win the game to win the championship. For a lot of players, that ended up being a trial game. Who performed in that day, and there was some 50-50 calls, and the players that played, there would definitely been some players who played their way into that squad. So, yeah, the Six Nations is important.